Good day and welcome to the Student StarCraft AI Tournament 2015 Finals. We are starting a little bit faster than usual because, I don't know really why. We've got as our first match Marian Diveka with his new and updated KillerBot, now standing at proud 300 APM. And as the Orange Terran we have got Florian Richoux, who is assistant professor at Awesomeness AI and Computing at the University of Nantes in France, and his bot called AIUR, and that is an AI using randomness, is playing Protoss. So this is the round of 16, first game, and we've seen these bots play over the stream for the last couple of weeks in the group phase, and these were the best 16 that emerged. Now we see some scouting going on. Drone has scouted out the diagonal position, and we've got a probe which has spotted the Zerg base already. Now, what you should know is that this is StarCraft Brood War. The game played is from Blizzard Entertainment, by now Activision Entertainment, and has been published in 1998. That is a hell of a long time ago, and although the official scene has been diminishing recently, even by the scandal of Sonic, the host of the Sonic Star League in Korea, the last vestige of Korean pro gaming really, has been caught in a fraud suit, and I hope he is innocent and it won't take any more attention away from the game, like Mr. Savior Ma Jae-yoon did with the betting and game fixing scandal. But although the pro scene has been dead and gone for a bit, this is the AI scene, which stands for Artificial Intelligence. So these are all students and enthusiasts, ex-students, PhDs, and by now we've even got some legit professors on board, which operate their own bot, and by mean operate I said, have coded their own bot. These bots are playing the game, as is Adam Heinemann wrote an API which allowed code to interact with the game. These bots do not have any additional scouting information, they do not have any additional resources, they just play the game like you and me, and the only advantage they've got... Oh, and this is some very nice probe defense. No probes killed, 2 Zerglings lost, and that is the first blood for AIUR. More Zerglings on the way though. But by now there are so many probes, this one will be cut off and killed. And now there are zealots, so the probes will no longer defend, and the Zerg can see those zealots and move off. So these bots, these AIs are playing the game as is. They've got to scout, they've got to manage resources, and they've got to build combat units, counter the enemy. And by the looks of this game, these Zerglings and zealots are managing just fine. As you saw earlier, at first these probes, these simple workers, have a puny little attack which does 5 damage, and they defended themselves against the Zerglings, but as soon as real combat units in these zealots popped up, they went back to harvesting, and the Zerglings spotted that and left the probes alone. So that is some very good and adaptive play already. Let me see what is going on. You see a little bit of a lot of zealots popping up in the Zerg base. We've got a nice train of Zerglings chasing the scouting probe, and it's only to be hoped that it will be killed off soon, because in the meanwhile nothing else is happening. And as you all know, zealots are very good against Zerglings even without... Oh, there is the gas, without the attack upgrade. So that is what's going on today. Round of 16. This is a best of 1, so bad luck if you've got a bad start or if you get cheesed, but oh, this is really ridiculous. We've got 1, 2, 3, about 14, 15, and there it goes. No, it gets away once more. Oh, that's really brilliant. That's some nice scouting, and the scouting killing off scripts are not as advanced as they might have been. Some static defense popping up, and something is happening here. Oh, look at that. These probes and zealots are momentarily attacking the Overlord, which of course does not work because the Overlord is flying and all these units can't shoot up into the air. Now, more zealots. So a lot of zealots seems to be the name of the game. By now, finally, the scouting probe has been killed, and I'd be interested to see what kind of technology this Zerg player is going to come up with. We've got Hydras and we've got a lair, so that might be something, because Hydras are very good against zealots. and we've got a nice bit of posturing coming up from the zealots, so that from the Zerglings, so that is something. Now, what will we have more? We will have more more Zerglings and a nice bit of a standoff, but both of these armies, both of these bots have got a combat simulator, which means that it will try to find out, well, can I take the enemy now? And while these zealots are out here doing God knows, oh, one link slipped in. The other Zerglings attack into the economy, and that will cost mining time, that will cost probes, and they're even taking some zealots along with them. So that is a very good choice by KillerBot, by Marian Diveka, and as soon as the zealots return, the remaining Zerglings retire. And 13 probes, thank you for the overlay, I don't know which plugin is doing this. But 13 probes have been killed, and although the saturation is quite good, the Zerg is now on 3 bases, going for Hydra tech, building a lot of drones, and look at the evolution chambers. That is impressive. By now I think the Zerg is determined, well, I've done a bit of damage around all that many zealots, and we've got the eco, so why not go for more probes and another base. And what is this? No, this is Zergling. And stack up on some Hydras, do some upgrades, and that is Overlord speed. So if there's any cloaked units going on, any shenanigans, we can get an observer there faster. Meanwhile, AIUR going for the robotics facility. That may be an observer, or it might also do a Reaver. That will be interesting. Because StarCraft Brood War is a lot like rock, paper, scissors. At first you've got Zerglings which beat probes, and then you've got Zealots which beat Zerglings, and then you get Hydras which beat, how these things called again, beat Zealots, and then you get Dragoons which outrange Hydras, and you get an interesting composition of a lot of rock, paper, scissors things going on, and these bots have to decide, well, can my army actually take out the enemy now, or should I wait, or should I build more of this, or extra that, and that's an observatory. So okay, the scout overlord being eliminated now. More gates coming up, and no more probe production. So it's all going to be about army now, and Protoss has to hurry up, because as this 4th base is kicking in, there will be a lot of Hydras out, and they have got the range upgrade, they've got the speed upgrade, and will soon have the weapons upgrade as well. And as you can see, although this Protoss army at the moment is about equal to the Zerg army with superior economy and soon to be 4 bases, it is not going to be cute as soon as all these Hydras hit the field with the upgrades. Now we've got an observer, so Protoss can see it coming, so to speak. More pylons, and if you look at the supplies, Protoss is now at 93 and Zerg at 82, so that's okay for Protoss, because okay, there we go, the Protoss leads the charge, and now the Zerg is pondering, well, am I going to attack, am I going to stall, and that is costing a lot of units, because some units are attacking and some are retreating, and that's going to be very costly. Protoss now at 100, and Zerg plummeting, 70, 77. And now Protoss has broken out, which will allow it to take another base, and Zerg could take this. It could so easily take this. It should get the hell out of there. It's astounding, and all this static defense, just that is a lot of hatcheries. I don't know why it's doing that. Now Protoss is moving up to the Zerg base. There is only one sunken there, but with the rallies and with the +1, okay, that Hydra is stuck there, that's a pity. With the +1 for the Hydras, will the Hydras now turn and defend? It looks like it. It looks like they've been waiting for that queue, for that one weapons upgrade. And now they do 11 damage instead of 10, but I couldn't help but wondering if they had attacked sooner, they might have done more damage to the Protoss army. Now the Protoss is at 100 supplies still, and the Zerg at 75, so they've now traded armies, which, although it seems about equal trade, is good for the Zerg, because Protoss needs presence on the map to not be overrun by the Zerg, because the Zerg's now got 4 bases up, there are more hatcheries coming, and the production of Zerg will now get out of control, because Protoss, this base is getting, well, it will last for another 10 minutes game time probably, but it will get in a bit of a bind. Oh, and now a Corsair gets out. So now the Protoss is going for a tech unit, which will increase the effectiveness of that army very much. But aside from some observers and an assimilator, there is nothing much out there. And now the Zerg units are in the enemy base, and that looks like with 67 supplies, 65. This looks to be about the end of the Protoss reign, because it's building so many tech units which can't defend immediately, and we've got Hydras and Zerglings in the base now. We've got a 4th base, 5th base already built. Will we see more tech? What is coming up? Second weapons upgrade, and this is just press D, press H. Build an army and go for it. 26 probe, that was the natural. And OverKill looks to be in a commanding position to take this game. Nice bit of static defense and an Archon here, but Archon against Hydras is not really the best choice, and especially not if there are so many Hydras. And it just can't attack, it's being outranged. It's got 3 kills, 4 kills, and then it dies. And we can state which Protoss economy is in at the moment, which is effectively 0 base against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases. This game is pretty much over, so Marian Diveka from Slovakia with KillerBot takes the first game, and we've got about 8 games, so it's going to be a bit of a longer broadcast, so pardon me for calling this. Well, by the rules of the tournament, it is still possible that Protoss is winning, so let me speed it up. Of course, this is played from replays. All these games have been played on a virtual machine on a server in Prague, and that is ruthless enough. So KillerBot takes the game over AIUR. AIUR, thank you very much for participating again. We hope that your owner Florian Michaud will find some time to update you, because you are very good already but just haven't been updated for a while. And that is going to cost you, because KillerBot has been updated recently. Now, another game we've got is Carsten Nielsen, and that is a Protoss, and he calls it himself a work-in-progress Protoss Rushbot. At the other end of the map we've got ICELAB, and ICELAB is one of these old GarmBots, last updated 2013. I contacted the Ritsumeikan University in Japan this year and asked, well, are you going to do anything with it? Are you going to update it? Is there still a project team working on it? And they said, well, no, not at the moment, perhaps in the future, but this is what you're going to have to make do with. But still, it made the round of 16 after not being updated for 2 years. And I believe it won in 2013, but it has been suffering, because it is very good. It's the most well-rounded bot. I think one of the it's no longer even that. It's very good. It can play Terran to a T. It's perfect. It can use high ground, low ground. It can use spells, anti-air a lot. It expands well. It defends well. But at times it's just not aggressive enough. And if you look at this opening, it's depot first, then barracks, then refinery. If you hit a 5 pool or something like that, a very aggressive opening, pain will ensue. Now, Protoss going for work in progress Zealot Rushbot. Basically a 2-gate with a little bit of more ecos land in. Terran scouting very good, but at last gets killed. Now we've got only 1 barracks, 1 Marine coming up, and these zealots are waiting. No, now they're coming. So now it will be all about will this defense be quick enough, or will the defenders be distracted by this scouting probe? And the scouting probe is going for the attack and doing some very nice damage. We've got a bunker coming up. Oh, and a new scouting SCV, so these zealots will be delayed. That is very good. As you can see, I'm doing this replay at 2 times the speed. Now we've got more zealots, more gates coming up. Now we've got a bunker, and if there is an SCV at this bunker to defend it, repair it, and now there is. And now with a Vulture, and Vulture, as you all know, with good micro, will kill zealots by the thousands. And these are very well microed. No, 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 no! Oh, that is the most unfortunate timing you have ever seen, but new SCVs are coming, and this Vulture has racked up a kill, has racked up a 1, and the bunker holds. So now it's going to be a dire position, because we've got a couple of Vultures, we've got a bunker with Marines in it, and we've basically got a Protoss which can only do Zealots. So that is basically the price you pay for not having a university project team doing development on a bot for more than 2 years versus a 1 guy, very well, very sturdy, make the round of 16, but relatively simple bot. And that is the expansion coming for ICELAB. Are we going to see anything here? No. And as you can see, these zealots, they are not rolling, they are estimating, well, can I attack now or can I not? And what they do is they hover around here, and sometimes they will have a peek at the enemy and they say, oh, let's go for it for ICELAB, and then they'll die, and then the next bunch will queue up and decide, well, we've seen a couple of vultures, a bunker, and we move a little bit back, we now with 4. But we need some reinforcements. So every time it's making that assessment, well, can we beat the previous army? But again, ICELAB is growing in strength, and now with more factories and more economy behind it, this is not really going anywhere, I think. Now with the expansion coming for Carsten Nielsen, I think perhaps it may do something else, or perhaps just crank up the zealot production. But as soon as these siege tanks pop and siege, look at that, the barracks is lifting, and they ICELAB thinks, well, I can do this with vultures alone, and as you see, no one dies, 4 additional zealots killed, and as soon as anything gets damaged, these 2 SUVs will repair it. Although not to completion, that is interesting, until about 80%, I didn't know that. But in the meanwhile, we've got siege mode coming up, we've got more machine shops, we've got the academy, we've got more vultures, and it seems to be, oh, and there you go, that is the high ground. As of yet, ICELAB is still, after 2 years, no one has been able to duplicate that or bother to sink in the time to use high ground. And from the high ground you get a longer vision range, and units shooting up from the low ground up to the high ground have a 30% chance to miss. And as you see, these vultures, they just decimate any zealots, and now they've got spider mines as well, and these do 125 damage. If you look at the zealot, it's got 160 health, but basically that is for the price of a 100 minerals, 100 gas upgrade, is a lot of extra damage. So if you are going to move in here as a zealot, you are going to have to wade through all these mines first. Then you've got the tanks, and they're even clearing out the path, because with all these extra factories there is going to be a stream of units moving up to the enemy, and only defense is required now, and furthermore a clear path toward the enemy. Another nice thing that ICELAB does is it mines up the expansion. So what usually happens is that the enemy is going to build a town hall structure, a hatchery, a nexus, or a command center right in the right direction, and if it can't, it will bug out unless it's got code to clean that up, to build either the building here or to kill off this mine, and most of the bots do not have that. So that is a nice little trick, and as you can see now, this SCV can see its, oh no, where is it? It's scouting, I think. Oh, and we've got battle coming up. Now Protoss with 100 supply, only zealots, and it's running. It says, well, screw that, we are not going to fend off these vultures, but the big problem is that there are only zealots. And if you are not fighting, you are dying, and now the tanks in the rear, and they're not even moving out. Now a nice concave of tanks moving in perfect formation until it breaks up. The vultures alone have cleared up this nexus. Now with the third base, with detection, with the minefield, look at this grid, it is almost perfect. If you look at the minimap, you look at the minefield, it's almost making a nice little arrow towards the enemy. That is some Gosu mine laying, I can tell you. Now more factories being added, upgrades being added, and we've got detection, we've got a dropship, and the dropship is now picking up stuff. More things being built here, I don't know why that is. Perhaps it's building from a nucleus in a even further outward. Now this Terran army is dealing with the Protoss army quite well. We've got a handful of zealots coming up, and it looks like that. It looked like ICELAB, after 2 years of not being updated, is going to make the round of 8, and that is very good indeed. So quarterfinals from ICELAB, Ritsumeikan University, Japan. Congratulations if any of the old team is watching this, I do hope so. Please get back to the game, please update this bot, because it is so brilliant already, and I can only, because as you can see, let me pause it a bit, it's going to play a macro game, it's going to play more bases, more production, and it's got superb decision making, so it makes for really great games, and as you can see, it is very, very good still. So this is in record time, well, at double the speed, but this is the destruction of Carsten Nielsen. Carsten, thank you very much for participating. Please update your bot. The beginning was so promising, and you just need to back it up with a little bit more tech and decision making, but very well done. Thank you very much. ICELAB moves on to the round of 8. Okay, and then I'm going to try to scroll down very carefully. We now have got we've got the ZZZbot by Chris Cokes in the lower left as the blue Zerg, as the green Terran. Let me unfix this. This is more easily visible on this map, I suppose, especially in HD. And of course, this is a, I should explain, this HD thing is for the viewers only. So these bots only see what their units are seeing. They don't have the extra range. They don't have the extra screen. They don't have a screen at all, actually. They just can't see beyond what their units can see. And if they had a HD, no HD or whatever, it wouldn't influence them at all. The only thing in which they have a slight advantage over humans is that they are allowed to have higher APM as long as they don't slow down the game too much. If they do slow down the game, they will get penalized and at the end may even be disqualified, which means a loss of the game. Now we've got, oh hello, let me slow it down a bit. We've got six Zerglings. That was a very aggressive, that was a 4-pool, that is really something. And I've got to be quick, this is W.O.P.R. War Operation Planned Response from the 1983 movie War Games, and it's very good, but it's going to need a hell of a lot of SCV micro to fend off these Zerglings, and it's about to do so because these Zerglings might get a bit low, and then but the mining time is running out, and there are more Zerglings coming, and the barracks perhaps it won't get finished, and these SCVs are going to clean it all up. So Chris Cokes, of course, as you know, or might not know, won the CIG Tournament 2015 with the very same strategy and placed 3rd at AIIDE in Canada this year, which tscmoop won, by the way. So it's very, very good. And you ask, well, why is it so very, very good? Because most bots don't have a way to... they adapt in-game, so they don't learn over games. And some bots do, and then you see if they are playing against an opponent like a ZZZbot, they have got some inkling of, well, last time we got 4-pool, this time let's build some early defenses and shut that down. But most bots do not, and that is why 4-pool is very impressive. That's not to say that Chris Cokes only does 4-pool, it can do more. And it's got very, very good micro for Zerglings and decision making, so that is something. But 4-pool still very strong, and Chris Cokes with his ZZZbot moves on to the round of 8, Servant-Led with W.O.P.R. Too bad, but you were rushed, mate. Good luck next time. Now, that was a quick little game, and we have got on our hands now LetaBot, and LetaBot won last year's tournament, and LetaBot of course plays Terran and is here. Coded by Martin Royakker from Maastricht University from the Netherlands, so a countryman of mine. At the other end of the spectrum, we've got Odin by Björn Person Madsen from Sweden, and is very good as well. This is an older project of his from 2013 or 14, so hasn't been updated for quite a bit too, but is still throwing up with the best of them, as some noble Protoss once said, and has made it to the round of 16, so personally that I find a little bit surprising, but who can argue with the fact? And it's going to build a pilot. Of course, at the other end, what will we see? We will see a depot, so I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. What shall I say? Could tell you a little bit about LetaBot winning 2014. That he did with bunker rushes, marine proxies, barrack proxies, and SCV and marine rushing, so that is, although very respectable, I don't think it's going to win you this year's title anymore, but he has been updating his bot so very diligently over the year that it's turned into quite a nasty piece, if I may say so. It walled off this ramp, then the scouting probe can't get in, and building marine So now at the other end, you see a goon rush coming with range, so that's interesting. And more robots. Okay, that's perhaps this bot has no, it hasn't been updated. Surely has it? I don't know. No, that's an observatory, so that perhaps might be a bit of goon pressure. And although we've got one tank out, it seems to be unable to leave the base, which it's about to do, because the barracks... Okay, and that got cancelled. So now we've got a tank, handful of Metamarine, and 4 goons, and that, as you can imagine, is not going well, so the Protoss army is retreating. It might... Oh, let me slow down a bit. It might kite these zealots, because the medics are in the rear, and they have got range, so why are they not doing it? Concentrate your army, beat them back, and now they take a couple of shots at Marines, and some Marines die. Okay, and the medic micro is not pitch perfect, but with the tank range, that is going to do a lot of damage to these dragoons. 2 kills already on that one, and now it's all going to get down to micro. You see the rallies, we've got medics and Marines coming up, we've got more tanks coming up, and LetaBot is just doing a very solid push again. Now you need good decision making, and you need the balls to go for it, because you might do a lot of damage with these 3 goons, 1 zealot to these 2 tanks. Because although the Marines can get healed, these tanks cannot, and you can take out these tanks. Now there are 3, but if you let them siege up into range and attack these Marine is not doing the damage these tanks are. So you need to focus down the tanks, and that needs some special micro. More probes coming, more army coming. Where is this zealot? These zealots need to be here and now, before these tanks tear down this nexus, and it's going to get out of control. More production facilities being built for LetaBot. More tanks, more medics, Marines, fire bats, even that is going to play. Oh, and that is some bad prioritizing, because although the Protoss army now is bigger, they are killing off medics, they are killing off fire bats, and they should be focused on the tanks. That is a damn shame. Tanks now sieging up, 4 tanks in your natural. You can take them out from the high ground, but it needs some room. Have the decision making to say, well, let's go and attack, and you can build zealots, but you need to go in there. You need to get dirty. And now we've got 5 tanks, we've got the Nexus being taken down, fire bats with medics, with Marines, and it looks like the Protoss army hasn't got the heart to get into there, get dirty. Today, obviously, is a good day to die, but it is so by running away, and that's a nice little bit of trickery by LetaBots. Just chase some stimmed fire bats into the mineral line with a couple of medics, and that is 22 probes killed in a jiffy. Perhaps this might have been some Dark Templar tech. No, there is a scanner already with a little bit of energy, but it's not really that much. But this is a very strong push, and if you don't have the decision making to kill the tanks, it's not going to work very well. Of course, it would be a shame to not have LetaBot by Marcin Bartnicki at the round of 8. I'd like... Well, no, you can't really say that. Odin, it's a very nice try. Perhaps you should update your Protoss bot. He's been working on a ZZZbot for a while, but his Protoss is still very strong. Make the round of 16, congratulations, but LetaBot, Marcin Bartnicki, moves on to the round of 8. Okay, so again, the theme is build units and then do it on decision making. Next game is very interesting indeed. And my computer is slowing down a little bit, or did I misclick? I don't know. Of course, I'm casting at the oldest possible rig in the human galaxy, but as Brood War is not a really new game, that's okay. We have got a new entrant, and that is Igor Dimitrievich. Didn't get his bot ready in time for AIIDE. Well, it got ready, but it didn't really perform all that well because of some logical errors, as we have seen over the past couple of days and weeks on the Student StarCraft AI tournament server. It is ready now, and it's been posting some incredible results. I won't spoil anything. I'll focus on GarmBot instead, coded by Aurélien Lermont from EPITA in France University. And he has taken the word as quite literally, and perhaps we might even see that. Of course, SCVs are incredibly strong against enemy workers. Now, that is going to be an expansion, I think, but what are all these SCVs up to? They are going to repair each other, and 2 are mining, and the rest, I think, are just going for the attack. That is crazy. Some good work on Micro, but as only 1 drone defends, it's now being ganged by these 3 SCVs, which do more damage, have more hit points, and only 1 drone defending. So each time 1 drone gets killed, and the SCV gets half damaged and then repaired. So that is not going all that well. Okay, I can. Well, you've got an idea what Stone is all about. It's got good scouting, good decision making, and it's got an excellent game plan. So that is what can still win you big games, because in a field of, I think, 46, 47, round of 16 is nothing to sneeze at. And the way it's demolishing GarmBot is just absolutely cruel. Every time a bot gets damaged, it will move out of range a little bit and decide, well, am I damaged enough? Should I be repaired? And that is a nice bit of, it's a nice game plan. This drone is not doing anything. It doesn't have the 300 minerals necessary to repair itself. Now, 3 SCVs mining. I don't know what they're going to do next. Probably build a depot or something. Let me speed it up a little bit because, well, this is clear how this is going to work out. The drones can't get their asses together. They're not going to get a concerted effort to defend themselves off the ground. They just die piecemeal, and that is going to be the end of that. Meanwhile, depot coming, very well done. And this is the minimum you need in economy and worker micro. And now they are going for the hatchery, and although the SCVs are not very strong, in the end they will take down a hatchery, and this probe is thinking, well, yeah, let's not get into that. Let them all die, let Rome burn, and we'll see how it's going to pan out in the end, which will be the moving on to the round of 8 by Igor Dimitrievich. The bot is called Stone. GarmBot by Aurélien Lermont has been defeated. Too bad, you've got a nice game plan. I've talked about it in previous broadcasts, but we're not going to be able to show it because you didn't make it. Better luck next time. Then we've got, well, it's not really new. It was new at CIG, and the CIG, which has been held in Taiwan this year, all of a sudden released its results and said, well, we've got a new guy participating, and it's called OverKill, has been coded by Shu. I can only hope that I'm pronouncing that correctly in my Dutch American English. Shu has coded OverKill, and it took 3rd place at CIG, and that is very good indeed. Now come to think of it, I said that ZZZbot took 3rd place at AIUR in Canada, but actually it took 2nd place, and OverKill took 3rd place there as well. So for a new bot to take consecutive 3rd places at major tournaments, that is very impressive, and I'm interested to see how this is going to pan out. At the other end, of course, we've got the Grandmaster of Brood AI, or one of the Grandmasters, I should say. Dave is a PhD at the University of Alberta in Canada, and is teaching AI, computer, magic, and Brood AI, as it happens. And the University of LetaBot, which we now see play, is a bot named after the university, and is a very nice platform. It's very well documented. It can do anything. You can just download it, install it, make your own version by updating some test files. You can make build orders, and you can, if you are so inclined, it's open source. You can edit the source as well, make it your own, and do some astounding things with it. At this moment, I think there are about 7 bots based on it. 7 bots in the Student StarCraft AI Tournament 2015 finals. Now, OverKill going for a little bit of Zerglings, but look at how many Marines there are already. And they are being micro, not quite as well, but they are herding down these Zerglings quite nicely. Then we've got the scouting SCV being chased, gas being mined, some defensive structure. Oh, there might be a little bit more towards the enemy, but I don't know. These Zerglings are not going to get anything done. University of Alberta is going to build Marines, it seems. So that is what it does. It can play all three races. It can play Protoss, Terran, and originally it was Protoss. Carsten Nielsen, I think, was also based on University of Alberta Protoss, the older version. And this 2015 version has only been released quite at the AIUR tournament, and now it's going to be the question: are these Sunkens in range? And yes, they are. So now it's going to be a question: well, what does the combat simulator say? Can we engage this? Can we not engage this? And if we are retreating, won't we get bitten in the ass too much by these Zerglings? Again, ooh, that's a very fast lair with a very low drone saturation, and this building placement is not very good. But after these Marines move over to here, they get attacked by the first one. They can think, well, will we charge in? No, we get attacked by the second. So actually, this might be a very good defensive position. And I can't really tell you which mod I would like to advance, because Dave has been working very, very hard at this, and ZZZbot has been working very, very hard as well. Coming out of the blue, taking third place with a very well-rounded bot like that is nothing to be sneezed at. Going for the Evo chamber, hello. I'm very interested to see which kind of build it's going to be, and another. But this is all going to be Marines, and if you build one lurk, it's go. Oh, hello. It's going to be shut down. Now these Zerglings are getting killed off, but all the straying Marines will die, but you could just move them if you were moving very well indeed, past, and then kill the main base. That's a Hydra Den, that is the defense, and more Zerglings coming. So what OverKill is now doing is saying, well, there is a large army in front of my base, I need more units, I need more Sunkens. So that is exactly what it's doing. And every time these units are moving back, they think, well, we fended them off, let's go back. And these Marines think the same thing, so it's a nice bit of posturing by both forces. In main base, we see only Marines, and that is 4 racks. That is a very stream of Marines, but what's happening here? Are we seeing no only Zerglings? Because I think that OverKill needs. Oh, look, it's taken off the drones of the gas to just harvest minerals to make more Zerglings, and this is going to be a nice stalemate, because these Marines don't venture into the range of the Sunkens, and these Zerglings get cleaned up by. Oh, that's interesting. Is University of Alberta going to expand? It's just going to build more and more SCVs, and I don't. Oh, and there comes the next round of Marines. That is going to be. Oh, of course, we need more barracks. Very good. And more Zerglings. So this is a bit of a deadlock. University of Alberta is not going to do anything else, and OverKill. Oh, that is another creep colony. Very well done. Now moving into the Sunkens, and that is not something you'd like, because these things only do explosive damage, which means half damage to small units like Marines. But that is still 2 hits to a kill, and there are 4, almost 5 Sunkens already. And this, where is this going? Where is he going? Where is he going? Oh, and more Sunkens. So this is going to be an arms race of Marines versus Sunkens. Now, with another base coming, and is University of Alberta going to make anything else but Marines, and will OverKill make anything else but Zerglings and Sunkens? If so, this might be a bit of a tedious match. I've set it to 4 speed, the replay, so that is 2 times faster than fastest for human players. As you can see, or not perhaps, OverKill is now at 3k APM and Dave Churchill at 2.5k. APM has not really been one of the problems, but these Marines just don't dare venture into these 6 Sunkens with the Zerglings. In the end, I think that OverKill might be mined out. Oh, and look at how fast these Sunkens do that. That is insane. All the while, we've got more depots, more barracks coming up. This is like World War I. It's just being. This is well, ZZZbot would be the German Empire, or the Axis powers, and these might be the Allies just pumping out Marines, picking them up from the farms in America, giving them a rifle and moving into the fire with their corned beef. And at the end, although the losses will be atrocious, I think that this will be a war of attrition now, moving in, but still not getting to grips with these Sungans. That is crazy. Let me speed it up even more, because I'm going to sit here watching this. The Zergans die because there are so many Marines. Terran now at 130, 40 supply. But still not attacking the Sungans, but they're moving closer, and when will they decide to just go for the attack? 140, Zerg at 13 only, that is crazy. Every Zergling, as soon as it pops, it will get killed. Terran army is growing. No, that's not another base, and the main is mined out. So, it's got a nice... Oh, and now... Oh, I missed it. Oh, damn it, now I've done it. And that was the deciding moment in which Terran decided, well, let's do this, let's move on. And OverKill, very well done. Not going to be another third place, but you held very well against the cheese of LetaBot. Look at all these Marines. It's nice to have them in a red color, because red is the most beautiful color for Marines. University of Alberta with Dave Churchill. Moving on to the round of 8. Congratulations, Sujashu with OverKill. See you next time. Okay, how many games have we got left? We have now gotten up to the next game, which is tscmoop. And tscmoop is playing as Protoss, capable of playing all 3 races at a very high level. And the enemy is Marcin Bartnicki, if I am pronouncing that correctly. And that is a big surprise for me, because that is one of the most old school Zergs you have ever seen, you will ever see. We just reactivated it for this tournament because this is our 5th consecutive annual tournament, and it is very, as an homage to that, we just reactivated all these old bots from the old days. And I don't know from which year it is, might be from anywhere between 2010 2012. And it has made the round of 16. By the looks of it, it's doing a pool with a bit of extra drones, so it's not quite as aggressive. And now it's going to come down to 6 Zerglings, more on the way. Oh no, an Overlord, because if you make extra... Okay, that's going to hamper it a little bit, I think. Let me put it down to normal speed, because if you only make 4, like we saw ZZZbot do, you can make of one's Overlord supply with the hatchery, it's 9. You can make actually 12 Zerglings. Now we've only got 6. And now it's going to be 1 Zealot with the drones, with the probes, versus a handful of Zerglings, and more Zealots being produced. Meanwhile, the Overlord has finished, or more likely Zerglings have died, and the Overlord has finished. So now you only have got 1 hatchery building Zerglings versus a Protoss base with a huge saturation, a nice bit of money stacked, already 2 Zealots, and I think this is tscmoop's new rush defense, because with the ZZZbot and Stone, we've got a lot of, shall we say, hyper-aggressive bots added to the scene, which are very good as well. Because these older pool bots, they have got a good plan, but there's not as well tuned as the newer ones. And this Zealot has to be really careful, because it's got only 7 HP, and oh, now it dies. But we've got 2 Zealots, and we've got... Well, in the end, we've got now as many Zealots as we've got Zerglings coming up every time, and I wonder what this is going to be. I do venture to say it would be a Goon, and with a Goon you get more shots in on these Zerglings as well. Let me speed it up just a little bit. Oh, and this probe is going to... Nope. Okay, got 2 Zealots for... No. As you can see, nothing dies, a little bit of shield damage to the Protoss army. Another gateway coming, what's happening in this base. We've got 5 drones and only... Okay, it's another base, that's interesting, because I didn't know that it was so advanced. Many of these old school bots only played 1 base. But now these probes should stay on the line, should mine minerals, and just pump stuff out of these 2 gates, and that should be the end of things. But with another base coming, perhaps... Ooh, Nice, nice, nice. I can see now why this is working so well. Because at first you do a little bit of eco and then Zergling harass and you kill off, say, 40% of the enemies. And then you build another base and do something else. That's very good. This probe is dead, and now the Protoss army is out on the map with the moon range, with the forge. I don't know what this is going to be, another gate. Yep, huge saturation, and they are now defending the bridges here, so no more mining time lost by Zerglings entering the range of these probes, so they think they've got to defend. And now we've got two overlords hovering over here, lings, and these drones being transferred. I think that's really nice to see. I didn't know these old bots were so advanced. That is really something. I must have missed that, and that is really really bad, because though I just moved and got a new job and am the busiest person on the face of the earth, next to all the 7 million minus one other busiest person on the earth, I do watch a fair bit of some Brute War AI, and I had not ever seen Marcin Bartnicki play. And with the expansion coming up, with the saturation, what is being built, more Zerglings. Okay, so this is going to be a 2-hatch Zergling thing. With the +1 weapons, which mean that Zealots will kill these things in 2 hits instead of 3, it will be a slaughter. But tscmoop should not forget to make units, and of course he does not. More gates coming. Let me speed it up just a little bit. This scouting probe is diverting some Zerglings, which are not having it, by the way. They are moving back, but by now the Terran army is so strong that it... Ooh, perhaps units might not be the most cost-efficient units to fend off a pool, but with the range now done, with +1 coming up, and with a soon-to-be 2 basic coming behind it, you can, I think, see where this is going. Because this Zealot is taking all the damage, and although it might die because it's very low HP, it's got 13 kills, and that's just a sign of efficiency. Now 2 base, and look at the saturation. We've got 5 drones here, 5 drones there, and we must have 20 probes and 15 probes, something like that. Now Protoss is moving out, it's not having any more of that. tscmoop, you astounded us by creating your Zerg. I should say your Terran bot after the Student StarCraft AI Tournament 2000. That's a nice bit of play, but it's not going to be enough. tscmoop hit the scene with the Terran bot after Student StarCraft AI Tournament 2014, which slapped about every other competitor existent. And then he did the same thing with Zerg, and now the same thing with Protoss. So now he's got a bot which can play all 3 races, I say up to top 5, and that is no small feat, as you will see. Meanwhile, that is very interesting. A couple of... No, we're not going to slip through there. More bases for tscmoop. We've got tech coming up, and we've got a Templar Arc. What is that? That is the energy upgrade for High Templars. But as you can see, tscmoop hell-bent on moving on to the round of 8. Marcin Bartnicki, you are the oldest competitor to come this far ever. Congratulations. If you hear this, do pick up the game again, do come back, it's great fun, and I'd like to see you do better next time. tscmoop, Vegard Mella, congratulations, congrats to Norway, and welcome into the round of 8. So now we have got the last game of the round of 16, and I know that these... Oh well, they have been announced already, so... Again, we've got 2 golden oldies, and as the brown Protoss, we've got Andrew Smith. Andrew Smith, you might ask, well, he has disappeared for almost 2 years. No one has heard anything of him ever since, but still one of the top 3 Protosses, along with University of Alberta and tscmoop Protoss. It is very complete. It can use spells, it macros, it micros, it has astounding decision making. And there has even been someone who published a paper on the complexity of the decision-making of Skynet, which is really something. It is a beautiful piece of ancient machinery, so to speak. At the other end, we've got Thomas Vaida, and Thomas Vaida is from Slovakia, if I'm not mistaken. And he does the same thing over and over again. He has won some major tournaments in his time. Last update only last year, but that was minor to try and stop this early game aggression. But, well, you will see what he does. If you do not know by now, I will just show you as the game goes along, and I'll keep an eye on Skynet, because Skynet is very, very good. And these are contemporaries, so the last major updates of both these bots around 2013, and making a round of 16 in a 2015 tournament. Group stage, after all, has been played in 2015, and this is only the finals. 2015 tournament, round of 16 for a bot which has not been updated for 2 years is good, however you look at it. What will we see? We'll see a bunch of gateway units, a lot of pro productions in the main base. Oh, there we go. Nope, you're not going to get through. 4 cannons, a forge, and a lot of... That is some really gas-hungry stuff going on, and a couple of zealots too, I don't know. And a StarCraft. So what will we be able to infer from that? Meanwhile, goon production going strong, and it might be time for an expansion, because having 600 minerals on your account will not really do much good. Another gateway, more pylons, 2 more gates, observatory, more gates. Looks to be about a 1 base push. Now in Ximp, and I don't know where that stands for actually, the bot is called Ximp, X-I-M-P, Ximp, by Thomas Vader, is just cannoning up his natural, and that is going to be a big task for this army of ranged goons, handful of zealots, and the observer to break. Now with the robotic support, oh, we'll see a Reaver. That's interesting because the Reaver can outrange cannons. But this is going to be a massacre, and 4 goons at least killed, with only shield damage to 1 cannon. Yep. Okay, 1 cannon down. We've got about 10 left. So that's the state of the game. What is happening with these targets? We've got carriers coming up, and how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 gate carrier behind wall of cannons. That is very distinctive Ximp play. It does that every time, but it's very hard to break because these defensive structures can be placed very close together. They do not take up supply, only money, only minerals. And although carriers require a lot of minerals too because of all the interceptors, it has been a viable concept because Ximp has been posting very high win rates over the years. Now, will this this Reaver come in time, because it still needs to cross the entire map, and we've got the first carrier out already. Of course, unlimited APM now, about 500-ish, allows you to build interceptors one at a time, and although 1 cannon again gets taken down, the cost of goons is way too high. Way too high. But with all these gates, and where is the Reaver? The Reaver is trundling back. It's a pity in replays you can't hear the nice friendly beeping sounds it makes, but I think on the whole it is a nice unit, and it's a pity that StarCraft 2 dropped it, but I'm not going to say anything about StarCraft 2. This is about Brood War and brutal AI. This would be a formidable army, were it not that we've got 4 carriers moving all around the map, about to hit the hidden expansion. And a nice bit of expanding by Ximp as well. So now we've got 6 carriers, a nice bit of ground forces, economy doing well. This has been walled off, I don't know why, but you're going to need a hell of a lot of anti-air to ward off these interceptors, and I don't think that, although we've got a hell of a lot of dragoons, it's going to work. Oh, and they just pass it by. They don't kill it off. And the probes being transferred, they're going straight for the main, straight go for the kill. Next bunch is set up as well. So that is something it does. It just moves around the edge of the map and then hits in a weak spot. And look at all these goons. This might actually be a battle, but they need to get in there and get in there now, because as soon as these carriers meet up with the next bunch, it's going to be hell. And no, they are going. Oh, that was well, for Skynet actually, but for Ximp it's quite good news. And these carriers, although they take a lot of hits, oh, and the next bunch of carriers is just being detained here, but the third group is coming up already, and that is going to end up in a lot of pain for Skynet, because it's not attacking with all of its oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And you can see how important decision making is, because these bots do not have a concept of a carrier, they just have some heuristics, some simple rules that tell them how to deal with enemy units, and this is not a typical formation of enemy units with a mothership and a lot of small other ships. So as you can see, if I'll slow it down just a little bit, these goons, as soon as they get surrounded, they try and move in all directions, and they think, oh, I'm surrounded, I must go here, and I must go there, and I must go... And by the time they have taken 2 steps, they have died to this carrier fire with +2 weapons upgrade already. These Reavers are being ignored because these carriers are only taking out vital structures like nexuses, gateways, and then combat units. So now we've got about 7 or 8 carriers in the main base. Another that is a nice bit of base taking, but next bunch of carriers departing, all the tech you'd want, and that is mainly Templar Archives is for the 3rd weapons upgrade, so that you need to be able to start more than +1 weapons. Carriers dishing it out, all the probes dead, and these 2 are the last buildings of Skynet. And what we'll now see is that these carriers have to go looking for the enemy, which we'll be able to do. So I'd say you've got about 5 minutes to rebuild. That was the hatchery. More carriers coming, and as soon as they found the enemy base, they will send a signal to their friends, which will come and kill them all. Now with carriers, with almost maxed supply, this is not going anywhere because Skynet is now at 55 supply. Yep, this is still alive, but we've got 8 carriers, 7, 8 carriers coming from the east, 4 from the west, and although we've got 4 goons, I don't think they'll be able to handle that. And the Reaver, oh, now with the Arbiter, that is brutal. Now all the probes will be taken down, and will the Reaver actually survive at all? I don't know. No, it won't. 2 Arbiters, and I say about 12 carriers. That is the game. Ximp moving on, Skynet being left back, and that is the end of... oh no. We've got 2 expansions more. Will they be found? It's just a matter of time, I think. Yep, that's one. Okay, so now we're going to sit here and enjoy the destruction of Skynet. Thomas Weider, Ximp, congratulations to reaching the round of 8. Skynet, Andrew Smith, if you hear this, anyone, if you've seen Andrew Smith, please tell him to come back. His bot is still awesome and could be so much better next year. So now we have got the round of 8, and because I am on a bit of a dumb computer, I can't really read them up. So at the beginning we had KillerBot beating AIUR, we had ICELAB beating Carsten Nielsen, ZZZbot beating W.O.P.R, LetaBot beating Odin, Stone taking out GarmBot, University of Alberta taking out OverKill, tscmoop winning handsomely for Marcin Bartnicki, and at last we had Ximp beating Skynet. So those are the round of 8 contestants for the Student StarCraft AI Tournament 2015 finals. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Please check out our website. You can learn to play against these bots, you can learn to code them, and you can find more videos if you enjoyed this cast. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Goodbye.